My name is Richard, but many people call me by my nickname, Dick. Also by Rick and even Rich. My last name is Naylor, Naylor. I've seen it spelled Nailor, and I've even seen it spelled Nailer. My guess is way back when this person had something to do with nails, either as a blacksmith or a carpenter. A blacksmith, he made the nails, and a carpenter, he used them. Years ago, someone's name was attached to their father's first name. Jesus called Simon, later known as Peter, he named him Simon Bar Jonah in Matthew 16:18, which meant Simon, son of Jonah. I guess if we still did that, I'd be Richard Bar Lester. Not many of them around, you think? There is a story in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 26, that brought a familiar message to my mind. The time was here 2 days before Passover, and Jesus is in the Bethany, which is in the outskirts of Jerusalem. It starts in verse 6. While Jesus was in Bethany, in the home of a man known as Simon the leper. I'm going to stop here. Suppose Jesus came to visit you, maybe for coffee or even as a meal. How would you describe yourself by a name? Would it be something positive, or would it be something negative? Would it be something that you would be proud of, or would it be something embarrassing? Did you gain this name by a friend, or an enemy, or just by someone neutral? Radio and TV like to rename people, maybe because to cause them harm, or in some cases to draw praise. I doubt Simon gave himself his name Simon the leper. I question whether he was still a leper, or whether he was someone who Jesus healed. Either way, this is how he is named. You see, being a leper, even if you were healed, stays with you all your life. So what description might you have tacked onto the end of your name? Maybe you got it in junior high, or maybe you were a good athlete, and they called you Jim the Rock, a good name for a lineman in football, or maybe Sam the Swift, or Jeb the Untouchable, because no one could catch you once you caught the ball. England had a knight who later became King of England in 1189. He was called Richard the Lionheart. You may remember some other ones, such as William the Conqueror, or Alexander the Great, or Attila the Hun. On the other hand, you probably heard of Judas the Traitor. In the movie The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the children were given names by Aslan because of their valor in the battle for Narnia. There was Edmund the Just, Lucy the Valiant, Susan the Gentle, and Peter the Magnificent. This brings to mind, who has the right to name you? Look at footwear. Nike has the right to name their shoes. What about Air Force One, Air Max One, Air Jordan? What's all this air about anyway? Can you think of any other companies that name their product? What gives them the right to name these products? That's easy. They made them, right? So when you remember names that seem to stick to you, think about who made you. Did you guess God? Then all the negative names can be thrown into the trash, because the people who made them don't have the right. Only God has the right to name you. Remember, God named Abram, Abraham, Sarai to Sarah, Jacob became Israel, Simon to Peter, and later Jesus renamed Saul, Paul. Nebuchadnezzar changed the name of the 4 Hebrew boys in order to change their lives from Hebrew to Babylonian, but it didn't work, because he didn't make them. God did. Since God made you, only he has the right to name you, and I am sure it will be a good name, because he loves you. We are all familiar with the verse from John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, so that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. The first letter of John states in the first chapter, verse 7, God is love. Of the many attributes of God, the first one seems to be love. So who do you want to name you? I'll take God.